instead, because that's how it usually goes, although we saw 2 of the opposite scenarios yesterday from our 7th and 8th place teams. I think there's a high chance we go to Infernal Shrines anyways, either that or the Dragonshire. That's my guess. Yeah, that's my professional opinion on the situation. And I guess one of the players in the bathroom or something, because we are still here.
Yes, and
I see you making check marks on your paper.
yes, cursed. Check for GG.
You're like, oh, another downtime before the map. Check. Okay, here we go. Set 4 will be on Battlefield of Eternity, actually. It's a bit surprising to see it this late in the pool. I thought we might see it not at all.
Yep, and it is going to be Mighty choosing the battleground. It's going to be GG first pick, first ban. Now this is where I think GG has one of the best chances of taking a map here, as they would love to go into the teamfight comp instead of taking the Falstad. I think just banning out Falstad even, or of course Vala and Nazebo or Tannis would be the bigger questions as we go into BOE for the race for the Immortals. Let's see.
I'm trying to think of what GG is going to have planned here, or I mean, it's Mighty's map pick.
I think they want to take 0-2 themselves.
This is the map where, that's why Mighty bans it. This is the map where the draft is so important.
Vala is open.
Yeah. Like, the draft is so important, so having first pick here is really powerful when your opponent's map picking it. I'm thinking about Navala, but I'm also thinking about Nazebo here. Like, he's just so strong. And this map doesn't normally go long. It went a little bit longer earlier today. I think we're going to see Nazebo in this game no matter what. The question is whose side. Now, Mighty does not want to pick Ariel here. So it's probably just going to go over to GG. That's the power of first ban when you have this situation. Mighty can't really, like, what are they going to Gul'dan, Ariel? Not really an option.
You don't need too much of wave clear in this map. Neither the global. I think with Vala, there's a good counter, of course, with Lunara has been some of the options. Especially with Tempest or MVP Black. Even the L5, just adapting that from Eastern Clash from Chinese teams and bringing it back to HGC Korea. That's also a very good option when you can actually do a double pick with Nara Ariel, taking out both.
Wow. Greymane. The Arthas is not a bad choice either, but just not expect them to come up this highly prioritized. I really thought it was going to be a Li Ming situation, probably with the Malfurion.
Exactly.
And now GG can take the Ariel, but they have to be careful about picking too much into the Vala, because Vala does a lot of damage, but she can't outrace a Greymane comp. They'll have to fight, and that's the idea here for Mighty, plus the fact that Arthas could, you know, help invade if they wanted to take that route against the Vala. So I think it's still okay to pick the Ariel, but they're not going to. Tyrael coming out into the Arthas. I don't know if I am a big fan of that, but it does lead me to believe that they're going to pick another damage here. It's not going to be the solo Vala.
Now with Malfurion, I think it's more of a for the safety of Vala with that sync. I think Mighty should have taken Tyrael instead. That's what I believe. Instead of Arthas. I'm okay with Greymane. That goes really... Greymane does have the racing potential and also has that burst damage with also the pokes of cocktail builds if it comes out.
Featuring Sans hands again.
Oh, nice.
So, I think actually, this is going to sound crazy, but I think an Artanis ban is not crazy here either, if you're really expecting this is going to be the solo Vala.
Unless you are going to be the one picking it later on.
Yeah. Well, with Greymane and the Arthas, you have to think they might consider that. Now take away the range damage on the hammer. So we could see Li Ming and Artanis coming out for Mighty now with these hammer removed. They want to have their own range damage. They're going to have the next pick. And GG is going to consider one of the bans here. It's been a long night, G-Clef.
That's
and
true.
It could all come down to this for GG. They had that easy free win
It's
on
not
Cursed.
an easy ban for sure. There are lots of options available. Maybe you want to go into support choke instead.
Leeming, I like it, you know,
Okay.
and now Mighty, if they want to win the race, they're going to have to do it with brute force with the Artanis. What else could they pick here to secure the race? There's still Nazebo available, which is also very helpful. It's kind of a slow tick, but it does work really well over time. Spiders are good, especially post 16. You have them non-stop, and you've finished your Widowmaker's quest.
That's right, and you also need some protection onto Greymane. Maybe they are thinking about some shields coming in also. Never mind. Not going to be any shields needed for Greymane.
This is just weird. This is a weird composition. The ETC pick is going to be for Rockstar passive. The Arthas is an anti-Tyrael measure. It's obviously very strong on the map in general. It can really slow down an Immortal or do extra damage. It's just a solid tank on the map in general. It's his best map so far, I think, just based on his pick rate. But yeah, it's just a Greymane composition that's very much centered around racing the Immortal more than team fighting.
Mighty does have a lot of CC and roots to connect and go into Vala. That's where Mouth will come in and root defensively to save Vala. So I think Power Slide will be a little bit weaker when you have Malfurion on the other side, of course.
All right, do they go all in with the Vala? Nope, they're going to bring the Tychus.
So double auto attack here. They will, of course, have a very, very fast racing with Q Vala. The Mighty, if Falstad also goes in for auto attack, I think they also have a very fast racing comp.
I think this is going to be a Karazine pick. Oh, it's the Lucio. Always on this map, the Lucio.
So they want to chase down the entire team comp with GG here.
You can also, you know, just have really strong sustained healing. There's a lot of CCs that could be cleansed, especially the root and the Q of Muradin, Stormbolt. But look, this draft really could go either way. I feel like it's a cleaner draft on the side of Mighty, but GG has a really good draft for the map as well. Nothing too puzzling about this one, and we'll see how this fights out. Neither team having really the specific dive or race comp. They're both kind of half and half on that regard. So let's go into this fourth map, which could be the last in the series. In blue, BDG on Vala, Jaehyun on Malfurion, good on Tyrael, Hooligan on Muradin, Wujie on Tychus. That's GG.
In red, Mighty, Joker on ETC, Sands on Arthas, Magi on Falstad, Nasang on Lucio, and SDE on Greymane.
So, smite damage for Tyrael, going back to the norms here. The auto attack Vala. It's going to be actually the crossfade once more for Nasang, upgrade for the speed. And it's going to be the auto attack Falstad and Wolfheart.
Not a Q-Vala. Interesting. That will actually slow their racing up very much, but they want to go all in team fight here. Both teams just trading some damage in the bot lane, and it is going to be Tyrael on top.
Yep. The solo lane Arthas, which isn't insanely powerful, but you know, this is not a strong map where your solo laner is going to win you the game or anything like that. This is going to be fairly even, as long as Sands uses his Tempest when there's no shields, etc. Pretty easy for this lane to be very neutral. Slight advantage to Tyrael, I would argue, but still a pretty even lane. This game is dead even.
I was obviously expecting a Kivala, especially with Taika's on their team. Kivala with Strafe seems to be very popular and rising into.
Oh! Counter kill. Oreo clear the mini wave with that trait. Ooh! So clear. Hooligan helped.
That's right, and Joker just power sliding in.
So it's a 1-for-1. The dive onto Earth is there. Actually, a really nicely timed gank by GG. Mighty, really well done to at least make it a 1-for-1. But I feel like that was way better done by GG. Nasong avoids the Stormbolt. And let's see how this first Immortal phase goes, because both Vala and Tychus can race really well, but so can the Falstad with the Season Marksman and the Grey Mane with the Rockstar passive. So looks like GG is going to be doing the aggressive invade up here. Mighty's trying to defend their own Immortal. Nasong gets blown up, though.
Wow, Lucio was just deleted off the map right there.
Control A, delete, man. Type Nasong on your memo pad. Do that, and you'll have what just happened there. So
one CC was enough to take that Lucio, of course.
Immediately blown up, and now this is a massive lead for GG. Just kind of on a knife's edge, these two comps. One pick is enough to really win you this. And interestingly, Mighty is actually going to engage for the defense. They get the big double stun there. BDG is actually very low. Gets the heal. Oh, loses the 1v1. Can Jaehyun get the counter kill? He has to avoid the Immortal stun, so I guess not. But they're going to still win this Immortal. They evened it up, actually. You know what? They're all coming in here. This is going to be really close.
Let's see the race.
Looks like Mighty just outnumbering GG will eventually win this. It's going to be very few shields, but a good turnaround by Mighty.
Of course, without Vala, Mighty had more potential damage, and of course, just not having your auto attack stunned.
Yeah, and they didn't have everybody there to get the pick either. They were working on the Immortal while they got the pick, so they were catching up before they even started.
And even before, Magi was soaking some EXP on the bot lane, so they already have over half a level lead. This is the first one, not the strongest one.
Oh, big cocktail damage coming out here as they push this forward. Magi up at the front lines, trying to get as much damage done as he can to BDG as possible. That was a silly power slide. That was not anybody. But the Immortal will turn to dust as it is held off, only getting the fort wall, but a slight lead goes to Mighty. And you could see that getting a pick is going to be the key for winning the race for these two teams. That halftime buffer for Mighty to respawn and come back in for the fight. Very important as they look to take this neutral siege camp. If you look at the map, you can see that Sands actually checks the bot camp to see if they're taking it, to see if they can get a lead and maybe quickly rotate down to deny. Looks like he's not interested in denying it, though. So they're probably just going to look for a push in the top lane first, and he's going to try to delay this.
Now with that strong push, I think they can make a big rotation down, try to attack into the first wall.
Well, they just have this first, and they have 7, so they're just going to be really aggressive now because the wall is gone, as you mentioned. Looking for the pick on the BDG, super low. One more auto would have gotten it, but still, he's, for all intents and purposes, dead. Now he's super low, has to tap. He's going to come back very low, taking some time to re-heal, so they're still going to get this fort. Ujay comes in with a nice grenade, but they're still unable to get any picks. The fort survives, though, and a good boop to stop Hooligan from getting the big W there.
Does get destroyed at the end.
Yep, fort does eventually go down. But you can see the pressure here and the timing was way better for Mighty. Look at, if you compare the damage that was just done there to what the Impalers are doing in the bot lane, there is no comparison. They haven't even advanced to the wall. We're going to see the timings identical for the Shaman cap. This will be cleared in the bot lane at the same time. Just by the wall alone will help clear this. Here comes the next Immortal phase. It's really frustrating for Mighty that they have to deal with this bot camp. It's the one thing that's really holding them back here as they set up defensively right now while everyone gets ready to join.
So they want to get a pick here. They're going on to Magi. Can he actually fly out in time? Let's see if that happens.
Interrupted, and he is dead. And actually, there was a full rotation up from Mighty. Unfortunate they weren't able to save him. Had they just stayed and attacked the Immortal, perhaps they would have gotten a lot of value during this small window of time.
And also because the bottom lane is pushing with the camp, I think this has worked perfectly for GG, and Vala was able to also finish up the camp that was pushing the top lane along with Falstead.
Yep, Falstead is back in respawn now. He's going to want to look for the flight in. Here he comes, as we do see Joker commits. Nice cleanse. Something that Mighty is missing with the Lucio comp. On to Good here. They will retreat away, and very even are the Immortals right now. Only a slight lead goes to GG briefly. As they look to re-engage now, Good is pretty low. SDE actually commits early. Will find his way out here. Joker is super far forward, and he is deleted this time. As Nasong is rooted, he goes down. And Mighty is having a hard time with these team fights.
Really, GG really making that defense on this Immortal, making it work. Mighty actually getting caught from the Immortal stuns a few times. Costed their lives also.
Yeah, when you're invading like that, it can happen. Especially with two really aggressive moves, SDE going in alone, and then the ETC going in alone as well. Those were the two kind of mistakes that led to Mighty's demise there.
See the positioning of SDE. He has been just chilling on top, and it's just for the safety, because he did see his teammate going down on the exact same spot as he was alone too.
Yep, they're going to get 10 first, as they sacrifice this Immortal. They might rotate down to try to get a few picks and eliminate most of the shields.
I think they will hit 10 about at the same time.
Yeah.
It's GG first, but...
Ooh, BDG is alone here, though. Actually gets Rain first, though. And that is going to turn this around. The root connects. It's too bad Vala wasn't willing to commit for the chase, but Mighty is in big trouble now. Sound barrier finally up, and that's going to allow them to take some shields while the healing from Lucio eventually replenishes their health, but there is just nothing Mighty can do now to stop this Immortal. They're going to lose it, and they're going to have so many shields against them.
Mujay even popping Odin form to chunk down the damage of the last bits of Immortal. There it goes. It's almost full shield. There's a Sanctification to save, soaking all the damage, even Hooligan jumping right in. Arthas is the target.
Hooligan gets one more Stormbolt before he pieces out. He is out of mana. This is going to be a very heavily shielded Immortal that moves now down towards this top lane. The wall is up. Both walls have been up for so long for Mighty. So it's going to take a while for this to break through, and Mighty does have a lot of range damage to slow this down.
It seemed like Mighty almost had level 10, but it took so long to get the small amount of EXP at the very end, and by that time they hit 10, they were all very low. So GG, knowing that they went all in, dived right in to take out Arthas.
Ooh, this is a nice gust by Mighty here, Magi. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Sands is going to go down once more. Good has no mana. Doesn't look like he really needs it. And this game is snowballing into GG's favor. The Immortal not being dealt with by anybody right now, so it is just wailing on that keep wall. Down it goes. Yeah, the coordination for Mighty in these fights has not been as good. As you were mentioning, the level 10 was a big problem. The Rain of Vengeance that hit both was how they turned that fight around. It's so much damage to both of the DPS of Mighty. And they even get this keep. That's crazy. At sub 10 minutes into the game, GG just has this massive lead now. Casually rotate away. No risk. High reward for what they pushed in there. It's going to be nearly impossible for Mighty to recover from this early keep deficit, because the lane pressure will always be against them in this hyper-competitive race, where both teams are so close. Like I said, any pick, even having to Hearth home, could be the end of your Immortal race. And with Mighty just having someone always going to have to be babysitting this top lane, it's going to be Magi most of the time. It's going to be such an issue for them in every remaining Immortal phase.
They are behind indeed on EXP. But they still have, all they need to do is, Sands getting caught every single time. That's
like his 4th death this game.
And right before a crucial moment too, right before the team fight. But if with the right amount, if Joker, and that's just so painful to watch. Every warrior just gets taken down.
Yep.
All you need is a very good power slide with root connection, and taking out Vala or Tychus actually can bring a solid win for Mighty. They have so much GCs available for themselves, but just losing their teammates before the team fight has been Just tossing them off the team fights. That's also the power of Malfurion on the other side. That's
Yep, he's finishing them off. Those last silences there to prevent the escape. Well, we saw a ton of split pushing from Magi to try to get the keep down. He got the keep wall and kept the lane pushed away from the core, which is super important that they had that shoved for this next Immortal phase. With the blue side Shaman camp being taken from GG, Mighty's like, well, we have to have this too, or that shoving that you just did, Magi, all that work you spent will be completely crushed, and we're going to have pressure on our core immediately. Magi's going to look for even more, as GG is actually going to look for the Impalers. This is a risky moment for GG. Good is actually alone. Mighty could have collapsed onto that location if they knew. They didn't have vision. They know now, but it's too late to try to punish this. They're looking for potentially trying it anyways, targeting down Hooligan, a good route here.
See, the route is has been canceling all those Power Slide, and you can't really get into the back line, keeping Vala and Taika safe together. Jaehyun has been doing more than his job to safely get that.
Jaehyun really good with the roots today, especially in this game. All right, the race is on. It looks like Mighty has just accepted that they're going to lose this, but they have to, we basically just have to take as many shields down as possible. So that's why they're going to race instead of invade. They're down 2 levels. They're down a member. I'm going to try to rotate in. We could see the false set flight. Hooligan is the target. Here's the flight coming in. Tried to actually isolate Hooligan so they could get the kill. Not the best Twilight Dream this time. We do see a sound barrier come down. Sanctification to meet it. And it looks like Mighty will force GG away for the time being. They're on the same talent tier now. They have that extra healing from Lucio.
Joker comes around but gets caught instead, has to Power Slide away. It's very low, has to use the Gust to disengage the entire team of GG for now.
This is not looking good for Mighty. So not going to be able to do anything here. Not going to get any picks. SDE once again goes in alone.
Oh.
This has been really poor usage of this composition from Mighty all game long.
The roots have been on point, and VDG has been just chasing the targets safely from the back line. When he has the chance, he is onto the chase.
Sands and SDE, I feel, have really been dropping the ball in terms of over-aggressive extensions. This will likely end the game with 16 now for GG, and all the catapult pressure coming from the top lane. This Immortal is so shielded, it's going to have so many range attacks. Sands is going to be DED dead again if he's does not move away.
There's the Mosh.
They can try to turn this. SDE actually gets the kill here, gets the reset on his go for the throat, uses a second one there. It's not enough. Does avoid the Tyrael trait finisher.
That's two for one.
Yep.
Great trade for Mighty, but they end up losing the keep, and these catapults are already onto the core if they fight this for a longer time. And this Gust is very good, but no follow-up at all.
I mean, is it good though?
No,
like,
Immortal is already on the core. They have no...
this is messy. I think this is just going to be game over.
They have to make this quick. It's
they can't
way
clear
too
this.
healthy for now.
They can't clear this. That's going to be game over. We're going to a game 5, G-Clef. It's funny, Magi flies in for the Gust, and you're normally under the impression when you're in your base like that you're going to Gust into a keep or Gust into the core. In this case, he gusted into absolutely nothing. The Gust connected with everybody and it pushed them away from the core. There was just no way, almost mathematically, that they could stop that push. And Sands does not look happy. He definitely had a bad game there. That felt like Whitewater Sands in that game. Overextending a few times there, and the compositions were good for both teams, but it just felt like the team fighting was way better, way more coordinated from GG in that last map. And we're going to game 5. I want to look this statistic up again, which maps were won by each. For GG, last time they faced against each other, they did not play that map, Battlefield of Eternity. GG lost Cursed Hollow, Dragonshire, and Sky Temple. We started on Sky Temple. They lost it again. They won on both the Infernal Shrines and Towers of Doom. Both maps still available, so we could see the picks of either of those maps, as it will likely be the map pick of GG.
Yep, and you guys basically saw I think that was the highlight clip, not just the highlight clip, the entire highlight game of Jaehyun's Malfurion, the roots that stopped everything from coming in. Power Slide just canceled in the middle. The Mosh at the end, did it really matter? No, because throughout the game, he couldn't really go in, really threaten the back line. Vala or Tigers, they were safe the entire time. That's also why Mighty really couldn't really team fight, and partially also why Arthas was caught all the time. That's the power of Malfurion, especially with Jaehyun if you let him on Malfurion.
Yeah, he has. I actually had the stats for that. He has played
More than anyone in HGC, not just in HGC Korea. I think he has played more than anyone competitively in Korea for
this
sure.
year alone. He's played 25 games of Malfurion. If you compare that to Nasong, Nasong has played 13. He prioritizes the hero in situations where perhaps he even shouldn't be prioritized, but his roots are good. His Twilight Dreams to secure the kills several times there as well helped snowball that game in their favor. So we're going to game number 5. This is what we expected going into the series. They went to game 5 last time. They're dead even in map scores now with this 5th game, but one team is going to take 4th. The loser of this last game is going to take 5th. We started off at 5-5 with the exact map score, so now we're still 5-5 with the exact map score +2 on each side. So it just we're just continuing to meet in the middle. Can't have a tie though on the 5th game.
Yes, no tie of course, and definitely is a longer night compared to yesterday. It's actually the opposite. We had 3-0, 3-0 yesterday, and it's going to be full series, full double series tonight. And if Mighty can just brush up on their plays, and if they were just able to take Malfurion instead of Arthas,